from Nashville, Tennessee. It's the Three. And here's your host, Laura Harris-Smith.
Hi everybody, I'm Laura Harris-Smith and welcome to The Three. I am so glad you're joining us today. I am happy to say that for last week's show and this week's, we are going direct. We're hearing straight from you on the questions that you have for your health. That's the way it was posed when we invited you to write in, was we'll answer any health question. And lo and behold, the majority of the responses I got were about seeing the voice of God, the dreams and visions. That was really my original entrance into the public eye. I had like 12 books before this one, but once this one hit and just like took off like wildfire, I became known as the lady who interpreted dreams and visions and whatnot, hearing the voice of God, and I love that. But in the midst of that was when I, as you know, became very ill and had to learn a lot about health. There I was in the middle of a health crisis, in the middle of a publishing contract, and that's just Jehovah's Sneaky's way of saying I want to write something new through you. So I love it that it's resounded so well with you all, and I appreciate this is in its 12th setting now, 12th printing. But today, we covered a lot of this in the last episode, and today what I want to do is I want to move on to other questions that I get asked so often, not just about this, but about other health issues, because that's what I've been saying, is that we want to answer those questions too. Well, of all of the books that we could talk about, all of the questions that I could answer, some of the answers are going to come from the 30-day faith detox, and that is renew your mind, cleanse your body, heal your spirit. Some of them are going to come from the Healthy Living Handbook, Simple Everyday Habits for Your Body, Mind, and Spirit. This is called day 31 oftentimes because people get through the faith detox and they say, what do I do next? So I'll guide them to this. Others, if somebody is looking for something really meaty, in terms of they have some serious illnesses and they're ready to get busy, and take care of those, I suggest Get Well Soon. And that is natural and supernatural remedies for vibrant health. Now, this book contains, oh my goodness, more medical illnesses and their solutions than you can imagine. In fact, in the back, I have this is really incredible. I'm so proud of this. It's called an infirmity index. And what you do is you turn to it, you look at your, for your illness. You just look up the name of it, look at the page number next to it, and you're gonna flip over to it. And let's say that you have a serious problem with acid reflux, okay? GERD. Then you're gonna turn to page 200, and it's gonna say there, a prayer, a healing prayer for that. God, I am ready to eat and not hurt afterwards. I am asking you to heal this GERD and the constant heartburn, nausea, and regurgitation. Please take this bitter taste from my mouth. On and on it goes. I mean, think about, there are so many, I think it's like over 200 prayers in here. And then after that, what we do is we make sure that after because there's broken down really into 15 parts because every body system is mentioned in here. So what I've just mentioned there is obviously from the digestive system, even though we have tons of other systems that are mentioned in here, all 15. That prayer I just read you came from the digestive chapter. So you turn to it, you read the prayer, and then you're going to keep going, or in this case, go a little bit backwards into the beginning of the chapter, and you read about what to do to maintain your miracle in that digestive system. That's your mouth, esophagus, stomach, liver, and small intestines, okay? So there is a declaration for you there in this book. You pray the declaration. I am ready to receive any needed healing for my digestive system and then do whatever it takes to walk in divine health. And it goes on a few more sentences. Then there's the digestive system blessing. Your digestive system is hungry for change. While the system's tract stretches from the mouth all the way into the anus, it actually begins with your palate. So I first release over you a desire for whole foods and then the willpower to choose them. That's the special blessing that comes with it. Then I've got an A list, what's called an A list for your digestive system. And it's things to avoid, foods to add, supplements to allow, things to apply like ginger, fennel, those type herbs, anoint, how you anoint yourself, and then the 6th A is ask. Always ask your doctor. Anything you're in the middle of, I don't want to interrupt any regimen you're there to accomplish. And then your digestive system's favorite breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. And then a testimony of how this book worked for somebody. I handed out pre-release copies and had people just put the prayers and the menus to work, and it worked. So a lot of the questions that I get asked are from these type situations. People have health issues. Look at that. I've even torn my book. So my particular copy is worn. But every single prayer you could have to pray for any illness just about. And then the foods you need to be eating to maintain health in those body systems and body parts is right here in Get Well Soon. It is the largest book I've ever written. You can tell that just from, look at that. See, it's just a little bit thicker. And just because of that thickness, I'm telling you, that's an additional 20,000 words. It was not an easy project because it is medically sound. And these prayers that you're praying are very medically sound. With all that, not so you can impress God with your medical language, but because you need to know how fearfully and wonderfully you're made. So the next book that we would be covering with health questions is Give It to God and Go to Bed. And let me tell you why that's going to be a good place to start in our next segment. Because we just covered dreams and visions, and you got to go to sleep to dream. So come right back after the break, and I'm going to be, as I said, I looked into my inbox and the questions that came in, and I'm just doing some overall answers for you. In this case, on sleep and dreams and overall health that will help you improve your dream recall. And you can go to lauraharrissmith.com to get both of these. And then after that, we will be right back after the break.
Some people don't yet realize that essential oils were put by God into our leaves, trees, flowers, and grasses on the 3rd day of creation, all to promote health, provide prevention, and yes, even cures. Other people get that, but maybe they've never had any real success with one particular essential oil, which is why I create oil blends, giving you a better chance for a positive result with numerous health benefits. But there's one thing we all agree upon, and that is that essential oils smell good. They fill up a room with any mood that you need, anytime that you need it. We call it aromatherapy. But maybe you don't know the science behind why aromatherapy works. You see, we inhale through our nasal passages, and the nasal passages have direct access to the limbic brain, which is the emotional center of the brain. This means that scent is immediately tied to mood, but that's good news because you can change your mood by merely changing the aroma in your room. It's like therapy in a bottle, and that's why we call it aromatherapy. At Neuromatics Oil, we take the business of aromatherapy very seriously. We offer you a wide variety of options. Candles, diffuser sets, nasal inhalers, even diffuser jewelry so that you can wear your essential oils all day long. Quiet Brain for natural relief from insomnia, anxiety, headache, and more. Happy Brain to lift mood and even help with appetite suppression and depression. And Sharp Brain to help with focus and cognitive memory issues. Naturally, the oil blends themselves, applied topically on the skin, are going to provide faster and more potent relief. But if you're looking for a way to enjoy our oil blends without using them on the skin, aromatherapy is for you. And Neuromatics Oil has you covered. Go to neuromaticsoil.com today, or use your phone and scan the QR code on your screen with your camera app, or call 1-855-784-3827. That's 1-855-QUIET-BRAIN.
1-855-784-3827. That's 1-855-QUIET-BRAIN.
Did you know that there are more than 600 Bible references to aromatic plants and essential oils? Did you know that once upon a time they were our only medicines? They're still medicine today. You see, God made plants and their essential oils to support your health. They're drug-free remedies that can be used from the comfort of your own home with little to no side effects. And although only 5% of natural products get patented, my oil blends, Quiet Brain, Happy Brain, and Sharp Brain, did, because third-party lab tests proved that they crossed the blood-brain barrier with potent relief for everything from migraines to memory loss, insomnia, anxiety, seizures, weight problems, even depression. So go to neuromaticsoil.com today to see my patented oil blends, and there are dozens of therapeutic products, healing lotions, bubble baths, nasal inhalers, even shampoo and conditioners, all created by our family for the health of yours. Go to neuromaticsoil.com or use your phone and camera app to scan the QR code on your screen, or call 1-855-784-3827. That's 1-855-QUIET-BRAIN.
Hi everybody, welcome back to The Break. I'm Laura, you're watching The Three. We have been talking about the things you want answers to because I put it out there. What do you want answers to? You can ask me any question. And listen, overwhelmingly, the responses I got were more about your dreams and the Lord speaking to you and you being able to discern that than they were about health. But I don't want to negate all of the health questions. I'm not trying to do that. I am, though, just going to tell you, if you have any serious health questions, these are the 3 books of mine that you need to go get. Get Well Soon, that's for the serious hard-hitting issues and health problems and miracle menus, I call them. This is like a reboot 30-day boot camp. How about that? Total temple cleansing for your body, mind, and spirit. And then this is how you keep going after that. Just everyday, 10 simple everyday habits for your body, 10 for your mind, 10 for your spirit. How to just maintain everyday health. I've done shows on most all of these, and so surely you can look back at those on our website. Go to theTHREE.tv, or you can check out our YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, Laura Harris Smith, and you can find those out. But the reason I started, and I did an episode last week on Seeing the Voice of God, is because I had, like I said, there were more questions about this than anything. However, some people don't understand that in order to dream, you have to sleep. And in order to sleep, you've got to have good health. So to me, it's not a big stretch to talk about health when you're talking about dreams, or vice versa. Because you get your health better, let me tell you something, friend, you're going to have better dreams. You're going to have more frequent dreams. You're going to be able to retain your dreams. That B6, I'm telling you what, it will not only increase your dream retention, but it will help you in the middle of the dream to be able to tell yourself, like, it's odd. It's like your physical man is speaking to your spirit man and saying, pay attention. Now, what I'm not describing is some weird kind of lucid dreaming. That's people who literally try to listen to these binaural beats and they go to sleep and they try to hijack their dreams and control their dream. I don't want to control my dreams. That's boring. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but God does, and He can speak to me in the night and get me prepared for it. So again, you ask a lot of questions about dreams. I covered it in last week's episode, but now tonight, I want to talk to you about give it to God and go to bed. Stress less, sleep better, dream more. I love this little book. I brought the hard copy on air today because it's the first book I had that became a hardcover book. And this is back when I had one doctorate. I was only a naturopath at the time. And I was excited to help people sleep more. Again, my motive being you need to hear from the Lord better, but also just your overall health. Guys, I am convinced that sleep doctors could put all the other doctors out of business because they are so, your body, once you get your sleep figured out, okay, and once you get it regulated, and you see the benefits of it and how great you feel the next morning from having to being able to lay down and sleep, your whole body begins to heal. That's what God created it to do. So I do talk in Seeing the Voice of God a tremendous amount about your sleep cycles. I do mention them here as well. And I'm not allowed to just copy and paste, even though I wrote it. I can't just copy and paste the great stuff I put in here. In here, they want it to be 2 different books. So you get a lot of that information on sleep cycles with a new hairdo, I call it in this one, but it helps you to understand the importance of getting a full 8 hours sleep. In other words, if you're one of those people like I used to be, where I say, well, you know, I can sleep for 4 hours and I'm good. My mom did it, my dad did it, Albert Einstein did it. I'm just in that club, you know, I don't need much sleep. Well, yes, you do. If you don't go to sleep, your organs will go to sleep for you. And that's what happened with me. That's why I got so sick 12, 13 years ago. That's why I almost died. Had to go on bed rest. I mean, it was awful, but it was all because of self-imposed sleep deprivation. Now, some of you on the other hand are saying, well, Dr. Laura, I love to sleep, but I can't. Help me sleep. I cannot sleep past like 3 hours at a time. When somebody says, I sleep like a baby, I say, oh, you mean you wake up every 2 or 3 hours and cry and then eat something and go back to sleep? Like, no, you don't want to sleep like a baby. God created your body to go through several different sleep stages. And one is when you're in that state of, they call it hypnagogia, actually. That's where most of your sleep talking happens, your bedwetting happens. If you wake somebody up, let me put it this way. If somebody wakes you up during N1, you will swear you were never sleeping. No, I wasn't asleep. Your brain waves show something different. You go from alpha to beta to theta to those deep delta waves over the course of several sleep stages in the night, dumping you out in REM sleep. Rapid eye movement sleep, and that is where you dream. And that was discovered based on scientists would see people's eyes moving back and forth under their lids and determine they were dreaming. When they were woken up, they're like, oh yeah, I was dreaming. So it's fascinating, but if you will nourish your brain, you get your noggin full of the right things, your body full of the right vitamins and foods, you will remember those things and you'll be able to sleep better. You're not going to have dreams if you're going into N1 and then N2, and then you get woke up and you got to start all over again. You got to get down into N3 and REM dreams and all of that. So this book helps you to do that. This book helps you to do that. But I really want to make sure that we cover today the health questions as it relates to sleep, since, as I said, so many people were asking questions about dreams. It's astonishing to me how people, I guess they see it in the Bible, they know it's possible, they know God did it, they know that Hebrews says He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. So they're like, maybe He still does it. I've heard of this person who had a dream and that person who had a dream, and I wish I had a dream. Listen, if somebody comes up to me at our church, we pastor in Nashville, Eastgate Creative Christian Fellowship. I hope you'll come see us sometime if you're in the Nashville area. But at Eastgate, when somebody comes up to the altar and they say, I really want more dreams and visions, I touch them on the forehead, I pray for that seer anointing, and then I start talking to them about your diet. What are you doing? Tell me about your sleep habits. Tell me about your wind down habits. Are you on your phone or on your device in bed? Because what's happening is its optic nerve is receiving that light and it's shutting down. It reaches the pineal gland after that and shuts down production of melatonin, which is your drowsy hormone, your sleepy hormone. So listen, we can't hijack any of that. You don't need to be popping melatonin pills. That messes with your dreams. It really does over time, and puts you in an REM rebound, like real fast sleep, and you skip all the sleep cycles. You don't want to do that. You want to go exactly as God created it to be, like you're winding down the gears of a car and slowing down, and then where you are fully at rest, your body is healing, and you're hearing from Him. So when we come back from the break, I'm going to talk a little bit more about sleep. Specifically, I get a lot of questions about this, so that's what we're going to dive into in the final segment of this episode. Be right back after the break.
So you're on our website trying to select your favorite products, or maybe put a gift package together for a friend. Well, we've done the work for you. Our Pause package encourages rest and contains 1 Quiet Brain Healing Lotion, therapeutic bubble bath, and a Quiet Brain 50-hour burn candle. Our Uplift package gives you a real mood boost with a Happy Brain candle, healing lotion, and bubble bath. The Self-Care package contains the Quiet Brain Healing Lotion, bubble bath, and healing shampoo and conditioner. Our Awaken package is made with our Sharp Brain Blend and includes 1 nasal inhaler, 1 dropper bottle of oil, 1 bottle of healing lotion, and a Sharp Brain candle. The Sweet Dreams package is popular because it contains 1 dropper bottle of Quiet Brain oil, 1 satin sleep eye mask, and a copy of my best-selling book, Seeing the Voice of God, What God is Telling You Through Dreams and Visions. And don't forget our Quiet Brain gift box, our best value, with a sampling of almost all Quiet Brain products. 1 Whisper Quiet Nightlight Diffuser, 1 Dropper Bottle of Oil, a nasal inhaler, candle, shampoo and conditioner set, and even a satin sleep eye mask. But my personal favorite is our trio oil sets that allow you to sample all 3 of our patented Neuromatic oil blends while only paying for 2. They're available in dropper bottles, rollerball bottles, and our eyedropper pump bottle. Scan the QR code on your screen, go to neuromaticsoil.com, or call 1-855-784-3827. That's 1-855-QUIET BRAIN.
1-855-784-3827. That's 1-855-QUIET BRAIN.
Hi everybody, welcome back from the break. I'm Dr. Laura. We are talking today based on questions I have been sent, no names mentioned, but we have been talking about your sleep and your dreams because they go together. I remember one time I did a conference, I won't say what state I was in, but they had brought me in to do a conference on dreams and visions from this book, Seeing the Voice of God. And it was like a 3-day thing. It was going to be awesome. I spent the whole first night. You know, the first night's like an opening session, just at night. And so I spent that whole first session talking about sleep. And they pulled me aside afterwards and said, you know, Laura, people are really, they're here to hear about dreams and that's how we build it. And I'm like, do you not know that you can't dream if you're not sleeping? So I went out and teased everybody, you know, like, okay, trust me, tomorrow we're going to be talking more about dreams. But if you're not sleeping, you're not dreaming. And so many people cannot sleep. So I wrote, Give It to God and Go to Bed, Stress Less, Sleep Better, Dream More. For that very person, I wrote it for you. If you are the one who says, well, I want to sleep, I need to sleep, I try to sleep, but I don't sleep enough, or I get to sleep and I can't remember my dreams. So let me just tell you, this whole amazing book, can I just say it's amazing? I feel that way about my kids. I say they're amazing, but they're not 100% me, right? They got a lot of their dad in them. And this has a lot of my dad. All my books have my Heavenly Father in them. So I brag on them because I'm boasting in Him. The stuff He gave me to put in this book, the whole thing takes place in your bedroom. First of all, okay? So we got chapter titles like The Distraction Down the Hall, The Treasures Inside Your Bedroom, The Monsters in Your Closet, The Weapons Under Your Pillow, The World Outside Your Window, The Voices in Your Head, The Junk Under Your Bed. Listen, on and on and on I could go, but this whole book takes place in the setting of your bedroom. We're trying to hack that area of your life that feels so forgotten. Like, you know, you should be in bed for a third of your life. By the time you're 75 years old, you should have slept for 25 years. Now, I say that, and yet I am a huge accomplisher. I want to milk every moment out of every day. I want to get to heaven and do rabbit ears with my pockets and say, I spent all of it, Lord. I didn't waste a single moment. A person like that thinks sleep is a waste of time. So that's me. I still am not convinced. However, I submit to the Lord and I sleep because, number one, it almost got me in trouble and I almost died from not doing it. Number two, as I said, He has established nighttime as a time for you to heal and hear. Heal and hear. He wants you to hear from Him and He wants you to heal from all the stuff that the world is trying to throw at your body and make it tired and then sick with. So the reason I wrote this book was to convince people of how much they need to sleep. You would have thought I would have done that. I lace it into just about every book that I have written since that encounter I had, or that near disaster, near death season of my life I had. But this one is devoted entirely to why you can't get enough of it, why you can't get it at all. And I really we nitpick every little thing, you know, and look at what could be keeping you awake. So you need to be aware as you go through your life, as you go through your day, that there are definitely things, I'm going to call them monsters in your closet, okay? And that's chapter 3. But there are forces that are trying to keep you from sleeping, from getting close to God, from reconciling with your family members. And so I talk about the closet being a place of wardrobe. That's where our typical clothes are hung and whatnot. And so what are you going to do? What kind of wardrobe is in your closet when you get up in the day, you know, the next morning? Are you plagued with things like sometimes a person doesn't know what to wear when they get up in the morning. Well, when you get up in the morning, like spiritually, what are you putting on? And not only that, but are there things in there you need to get rid of? Are there issues with forgiveness? I deal with unforgiveness in this book. I deal with all kinds of things, choices you have to make about what you invite into your life and put on like you would a garment, and things that you need to dismiss. Don't donate. There's some stuff in your closet, honey, the Goodwill don't want it. You need to throw it away. And it's the same thing with these monsters that are in our closets. Old memories, things that are keeping us up at night, things that are keeping our spirits really soiled and unclean, because we need to give them to God and go to bed, right? So that is definitely a way to help you find God's best there. It also deals in that chapter with familiar spirits, how the enemy is literally targeting you. He does not want you to sleep. Think about that. Why would the enemy not want you to sleep? You got to put his face on this, okay? If you don't, you're just going to think, oh, is something wrong with you? Or it's in your DNA. You just don't need much sleep, or you don't get much. Listen, God created you to hear from him and for you to rest at night and for your body to heal. It's so miraculous the way he's created your body to hit, like in that 4th or 5th hour of sleep, you start hitting some real deep healing sleep. Okay, science proves this. This isn't anything spiritual about this technically. But then also you start hearing from the Lord when you get into that REM sleep, rapid eye movement, dream sleep. So it's God's idea. Of course the enemy's going to oppose it. So I would love for you to give it to God and go to bed. Go to lauraharrissmith.com, pick up your copy. There's actually a dream program in here, 10 days to deeper sleep and dreams program. It's totally free. I give you the links in here, how to go to the videos, and I basically tuck you in every night for 10 nights through these videos, and you get to walk through these steps of things you can do to find better sleep. Don't just get one copy, get 2. Get one for everybody you know that has a sleep issue. And I can just about guarantee you will stress less, sleep better, and dream more. All right, this has been a great episode, everybody. I'm so glad that you joined us for this one. And then last week, we've been trying to answer your questions. No names. I did everything anonymously, but we've just been trying to answer your questions about dreaming, about sleeping so you can dream. And of course, there's always the issue of health, so that you are in perfect health all the time and able to, at any given, with a moment's notice, be able to say, I'm healthy, I feel good, I feel half my age. Y'all, I'm about to turn 60 and I feel 20. And I'm grateful to God for that, but I've had to cooperate with him with all of these things, and I put all of them in books for you to enjoy. So go to lauraharrissmith.com today, check all of those out, and I will see you next time on The 3. Bye-bye for now.